Before we get into this, if stories like this hit close to home, take a second to subscribe. You don't want to miss what comes next. The first thing that broke me wasn't the flirting. It was the way she laughed like I wasn't standing 3 feet away. The office party was supposed to be harmless. A Friday night rooftop thing. String lights, cheap wine. Her co-workers finally putting faces to names she always mentioned at dinner. She squeezed my hand in the elevator and said, "Just stay close, okay?" I believed her. That was my mistake. By the time we reached the bar, she'd already changed. Her shoulders loosened. Her voice got brighter. She laughed louder than I'd heard in months. A guy from marketing leaned in too close, and she didn't step back. Another handed her a drink she didn't ask for, and she took it anyway. Each time I told myself I was overthinking. Each time my phone buzzed with nothing, no text, no glance my way. I watched her become someone else. The woman who forgot to call when she worked late. The woman who locked her phone screen down on the table. The woman who said I was imagining things when I asked why her boss knew her favorite song. At one point, I went to stand beside her. She didn't notice. She was mid-story, hand on some guy's arm, eyes sparkling like this was the best night of her life. When she finally saw me, she smiled, quick, distant, and turned right back to him. The music thumped through the floor. Glasses clinked. Someone cheered. I felt invisible. I stepped outside to breathe, scrolling through old messages. "Miss you already. Drive safe. I'm proud of you." All from a version of her that felt extinct. Then my phone buzzed. A text from her, even though she was 10 feet away. "Don't be weird tonight. You're embarrassing me." I stared at the screen, heart pounding, wondering how I became the problem in my own relationship. Behind the glass doors, she laughed again, harder this time. And that's when I noticed a man watching her the way I used it. That I went back inside with my chest tight and my jaw locked, telling myself to stay calm, to act normal, to not give her another reason to make me the villain. She was standing near the edge of the rooftop now, city lights cutting sharp lines across her face. The man I'd noticed earlier stood close. Too close. Taller than me. Confident in a way that came from knowing he wasn't supposed to be there. Her boss. I recognized him instantly. I'd heard his name too many times at home. The mentor. The funny guy. The reason she stayed late on Tuesdays. He leaned down and whispered something in her ear. She laughed, tilting her head back, fingers brushing his wrist like it was muscle memory. My phone buzzed again. Unknown contact. "Hey man, you deserve better than this." My stomach dropped. I looked around, heart racing, until I saw him, the guy from marketing, watching me from across the bar, eyes full of pity. I typed back with shaking thumbs. "What are you talking about?" 3 dots appeared, disappeared. Then the message came through. "She's been flirting like this all year, with him especially. Everyone knows. Thought you did too." The room felt like it tilted. I stared at her again, really looked this time. The way she leaned into her boss's shoulder. The way he rested his hand at the small of her back. Casual, practiced. This wasn't a mistake. This was comfort. I walked toward her, each step heavy, rehearsing what I'd say. But before I could reach them, she pulled her phone out and typed fast, eyes never leaving his face. My screen lit up. "Go home if you're going to sulk. We'll talk later." That's when it clicked. The late nights. The emotional distance. The way she'd started dressing differently for work, but not for me. I wasn't paranoid. I was late to the truth. I said her name, loud enough for them both to hear. She turned annoyed, not guilty. Her boss straightened, already defensive. Conversations around us slowed. Someone turned the music down. "What?" she snapped. "Can you not do this here?" I looked at her, really looked, and realized I didn't recognize her at all. I swallowed hard, trying to steady my voice, but it came out raw. "What exactly is happening here?" My words cut through the hum of the party, like a blade. Heads turned. Drinks paused midair. The city lights caught the tension between us. She rolled her eyes, then laughed. A small, sharp sound, the kind that felt like betrayal in itself. "Happening? Nothing's happening. You're imagining things. Relax." I felt every lie I'd swallowed for months crash down on me. The texts that vanished, the late nights, the excuses. They weren't mistakes. They were rehearsed. She wasn't just having fun with someone else. She was creating a world where I didn't exist. You think I'm imagining things? I said, stepping closer, my hands clenched into fists, but I couldn't hit her. Not that. Not yet. Every time you ignore me, every time your phone goes dark, every time you laugh with him. Was that fun for you? Pretending I wasn't here. Her boss shifted uneasily, realizing I wasn't bluffing. She grabbed my arm, lightly, but enough to try to control the situation. Calm down. You're overreacting. You always overreact. Overreacting? I laughed bitterly. Overreacting is ignoring your partner while flirting with someone else at an office party. Overreacting is lying to my face for months. Her lips pressed into a thin line. For a second, I thought maybe I'd finally gotten to her. But then she smirked. Smirked. Maybe you should just leave, okay? We'll talk tomorrow. Or later. I don't know. I stared at her, saw her in full, and for the first time, I let the anger turn into clarity. I didn't need to hear apologies. I didn't need to fight. I just needed to leave. I turned, shoulders heavy, throat tight, and walked away from her, from him, from a version of my life I thought I had. Outside, the cold air hit my face like reality. My phone buzzed again. A text from an unknown number. You deserve better than her. Don't let her ruin your heart. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. I already knew. As I walked away from the rooftop, from the city lights, from her laughter echoing behind me, I understood something painful but necessary. Love doesn't hurt if it's real. This wasn't love. This was a lesson. A heartbreak. A mirror showing me who I was and what I deserved. If you've ever felt invisible in someone's life, if you've ever loved and been lied to, comment your story below. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe. Life's too short to wait for someone who doesn't see you.